What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, when you talk about Guillermo Rigondeaux, I feel like he is definitely underrated. And being overrated, underrated, it's a fine line because it all depends on who you ask and what the criteria is. But the reason I feel Rigondeaux is underrated or underappreciated or both is he dethroned in 12 fights somebody who was ranked and who was running through people and who couldn't stand, like these opponents couldn't stand Nonito Donaire's power. And he was on like a 30 win streak. So after that point, after he did it and made it look kind of effortlessly, I'm not saying he didn't have to try, but he made it look very cool, calm, and relaxed. There was no point where it looked like he was struggling. Even after he got knocked down in the late round, when they were breaking up from a clinch, and then Nonito just caught him with a shot real quick, I didn't think he was in trouble. He composed himself really well, um, got back to his game plan, and in the 12th round, he had Nonito Donaire backtracking. This is impressive to me. And whether you like brawlers, MMA, boxing purists, whatever you like, I feel like you have to give this man respect. Rigondeaux is he goes in and he does what he does, and he's a sharpshooter, and that's what I really like about him. I feel like in boxing you have to appreciate all the different styles, and Rigondeaux is masterful in his game plan. His speed is hard to deal with. He's a great counter puncher, very accurate. He has great movement. And the thing with the running and movement, some people don't appreciate any movement. They just want you to stand still like a rock'em sock'em robot and trade shots until one person gets knocked down or knocked out. That's stupid. That's not boxing. If you like that, play Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat or something, because that's not real boxing. Real boxing, the whole objective, it's a combat sport. You have to flex and show the different sides of your arsenal. If not, then what's the point? What's the point of any strategic sport if you only do one thing? Look at the best teams in the NFL. Usually they have a good offense, a good defense, or they have a passing game and a running game, or whatever the situation may be. If you're going to run every single down, then there's no element of surprise. We already know what you're going to do. Same rules apply, same logic applies for boxing. If you're going to be a boxer, you're supposed to keep your opponent and your opponent's corner guessing, so they don't even know how to instruct you because they don't know what your next move is or what you're going to do next. So when it comes to that, Rigondeaux is definitely hard to figure out. He's a puzzle, and he earned my respect. During the pre-fight, I was like Nonito Donaire all the way. I thought he was too big, too much of a puncher, and I had seen Rigondeaux time and time again. I had seen Rigondeaux against sturdy competition, like Roberto Marroquin, and I still thought he was going to lose, but he earned my respect, and that's me as a boxing fan, a fan of the sport. I'll give it up when someone earns my respect, and Rigondeaux has definitely done that. There were people like Raw Boxing, and they were like, "Oh, Rigondeaux's going to win. Rigondeaux's going to win." We had little comments, and I'm like, "I don't know. It's going to be good, but I think Nonito takes it." And I was wrong, and I have no problem admitting because a new star was born. So it's just unfortunate that he received backlash from the networks and from his own promoter, and nobody wants to really market him. He's a decorated amateur. In 12 fights, he's done what most can't even do in 20 fights, unless they're elite world class fighters. And one thing I like about him, he just did an interview. He's just short, straight to the point, and there's no fluff with him. He just keeps it real. This is what he said about his fight coming up with Joseph Agbeko. "My name is Guillermo. I'm not a person who likes to be in front of cameras and talk. Training camp was great, and the fight Saturday, and I'm ready to go." The end. That's his statement. So I'm kind of worried for Agbeko because Agbeko has been out of the ring for some time. There's some inactivity, and this man just sounds focused. He sounds like he's hungry and he's after respect. I mean, you can't get more short and sweet. Training camp was good. I'm ready to fight. That's basically what he's saying, and to me, I like that. I like that little edge. Um, for whatever reason, some people are like, "Oh, Rigondeaux runs. He's a runner." But at the end of the day, Rigondeaux has a mean streak. I don't know if you've noticed that, but he has a very fiery, competitive mean streak. I've seen it in certain fights. he just gets on it and back to business. It's hard to tell because one, he doesn't speak English, so unless you speak Spanish, you don't know all of the things he's saying. Um, and he's just very composed and he has a poker face, but he really has a mean streak. This is what Joseph Agbeko said. This is not amateur boxing where you punch one punch and you can get away with it for the whole round. This is professional boxing. You come into the ring to give the crowd what they want to see. So you go in, take a punch, and at the end of the day, the crowd enjoys the fight. They want Rigondeaux to prove to me, to the whole boxing world, to prove that he's not just a boxer, but he can come in and fight as well. I want Rigondeaux to come in as a fighter and let's kill each other. Let's punch, and at the end of the day, everybody's going to know that Rigondeaux has got the heart to come forward, not to just run in the ring. I know I'm going to beat him, and that's coming from Joseph Agbeko. A little worried, again, after hearing both statements. I'm a little worried for Joseph Agbeko. Aside from the inactivity, making statements like this seem like you are coming expecting him to fight your fight, punch and punch with me, and the whole world will know. So it sounds like he's already, before the fight's even started, before the first bell, he's trying to bait Rigondeaux into a fight that would benefit him. And I think Rigondeaux, anytime you fight that many times in the amateurs, 400 plus times, you're probably smart and you probably felt different levels of power and dealt with all the styles. So those comments from Agbeko are a little bit scary and bothersome if you're looking at it from a fight perspective and prediction wise, because it sounds like he's expecting Rigondeaux to just go toe to toe and have a slugfest with him, which would clearly, I can't even see clearly benefit because Rigondeaux has power also, but it would benefit him if Rigondeaux doesn't box. So that just scares me to hear a fighter talk like that, especially when you heard Rigondeaux's short, sweet, and to the point comment. Training camp went good. I don't like to talk in front of cameras. Let's fight. So Agbeko, he's definitely bit off a lot. So we'll see what he does in the ring. See what King Kong himself, if he can climb the Empire State Building and dethrone Rigondeaux's run. But just based on the comments alone, that doesn't give me that much confidence. It sounds like you may not have a plan B when you say stuff like that. But we shall see. Who do you guys have in this fight? Rigondeaux versus Joseph Agbeko, and why? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.